when you enter into different seasons of life,
Right.
and those seasons require
Yeah.
you to make a lot of decisions,
Mm-hmm.
you're going to have a higher probability for a lot of arguments,
Right.
disagreements, misunderstandings.
Right.
All of that increases. Why? Because you're now entering a time of your life
Right.
where you got to make a lot of decisions together. Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of the Beautifully Blended podcast. My name is Larry.
And I'm Julia.
And we are here because we're passionate about helping marriages and blended families find help, hope, and healing. So how are you?
I'm doing good.
Okay, I love it. You ready to get going?
Let's go.
I think that, when we start our podcast, a lot of times we talk about, the serious things, but let's talk about you just for a moment. And this is just for the audience. I just want to make sure that they get to know who you are and also who I am.
Okay.
All right. So What's your favorite season?
My favorite season would be summer.
Why?
I like shorts and flip-flops.
Okay.
Shorts, flip-flops. If I could wear that all year round, I'd be good.
Yeah.
I like the warm weather, the sunshine.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you? What's your favorite season?
Fall.
Okay.
Sweater weather.
Yeah, I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah, no, I do. I like sweater weather. I like hoodies. Like,
I know.
you don't got to hold nothing in. You just kind of live out loud, you know? So,
Timbs and...
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I just think it's... Y'all, if you like hoodies, give me a shout out, please. I just like hoodies. So anyway, today we're going to talk about an interesting topic, which I think is relevant.
Yeah.
It's very relevant. We're going to talk about holidays.
Yes.
So what do you like about the holidays?
I like togetherness.
Okay.
I love that part about it.
Yeah.
I love that you get to be together with family. You get opportunities to chill.
Mm-hmm.
You get those
with a hoodie.
Hoodies. No, I like it nice and snugly warm.
You waited that long to say no?
I did. I like I like it to be nice and snugly warm where I can wear shorts. I want it to be so warm I can wear shorts even in the house during the holidays.
Yeah, so you want winter to be summer. Like in the house.
In the house.
Okay.
Yes. So you know this by now.
Okay, I do.
You do. But yeah, I like that aspect of just being together with your family. Yeah. The downtime, the laughter, just all of that.
One of the things that you do regularly around holidays is you try new recipes.
Oh, I do.
Yeah,
yes.
Which is awesome. I love the cheesecake, cherry cheesecake with the chocolate chip cookie crumble crust. Yeah.
Yes.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you haven't tried it, try it.
The pumpkin cheesecake I made.
Pumpkin cheesecake was really good. So we use it as an opportunity to try new things also.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What I would like to say is something that I think is very real for many families. Holidays are complicated.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Everyone doesn't enjoy what we just said we enjoy about the holidays.
Right.
There are a lot of families out there dealing with the loss of someone that they loved a lot.
Yeah, that's true.
They're dealing with the fact that that person is no longer with them, and the holidays kind of bring out those emotions.
Right.
It puts them in a place where they think about the memories of the people that they loved very dearly.
Right.
Holidays are complicated in that if you have a blended family, you got to figure out schedules.
Oh my gosh.
And who's going where and
holiday schedules for blended families are just crazy. They're crazy.
No, they are. Yeah,
absolutely.
You got to figure out who's going where and what time. And you said that I could pick up my son at 3:00 and it is 4:00 and you are not ready for me to pick up my son and he should be ready. You do this every year, Jack. No offense, Jack. Whoever you are. God bless you, bro. But we can get into these situations where the pickup, the drop off can be tough, in particular for blended families.
Absolutely.
And you have conversations like, this is not fair. Like, you didn't do this right. And you had Thanksgiving and I'm supposed to have Christmas and New Year. And it can be just really challenging.
Yeah.
What are some of the other things that you think are challenging about the holidays?
For blended families specifically?
No, for any
just
human.
In general.
Anybody.
I think just the different expectations that people have about the holidays.
Okay, tell me more.
So, everything is not a Hallmark movie or a Lifetime movie. It used to be Lifetime before it was Hallmark. Right. And so there's a certain, especially when you get to Thanksgiving and Christmas, it's like the most wonderful time of the year. And it's supposed to be like magical. And everything is supposed to be just right for certain people. Yeah. They like things to just be a certain way. Right. And so there's certain expectations about how to engage during the holidays, whether it's the kids who want the biggest amazing toys. Yeah. I was talking to a guy the other day and he said his kids wanted some kind of scooter. And he said, this scooter is over $1,500.
Oh, Lord Jesus.
And he was like, absolutely not.
Scooter
I am not
from heaven.
Right.
A holy scooter.
A holy scooter. They need a whole job to pay for their own scooter because that is too much money. And we were talking about just how difficult it is because it's all a status symbol, right? You're cool if you get this. And the different expectations when it comes to the holidays makes it really difficult. Yeah. For kids, for parents, for co-parenting, it just becomes really challenging.
Yeah, I agree. I think holidays, they present this opportunity to figure out things. Right. And as a family, as a husband and wife team, right, you have to figure out these things together. Who is cooking? What are we eating? Right. Especially when you first get married, where are we eating? Right. Are we eating at my mom's house or are we eating at your mom's house? If the parents are not together, right, are we eating at my mom's and then my dad's, right, and then your mom and then your dad? It
gets complicated.
Yeah. So, or
everybody goes to the grandmom's house. Everybody goes to the cousin's house. Yeah.
And what time are we doing this?
Right.
And then you got to coordinate all of these little bodies in your house, these kids. Yep. Getting them to where they need to be so that you can finally exhale and say, now celebrate the holiday.
Right.
Now have fun and enjoy each other. Right.
Right.
So it can be extremely difficult, but here's one of the problems that I think a lot of people don't pay attention to. The amount of decisions, like when you enter seasons and you have to make a ton of decisions, right, it increases the probability that you're going to have a ton of arguments.
Oh, yeah.
So when you enter into different seasons of life,
right,
and those seasons require you to make a lot of decisions, you're going to have a higher probability for a lot of arguments, right, disagreements, misunderstandings.
Right.
All of that increases. Why? Because you're now entering a time of your life where you got to make a lot of decisions together.
Absolutely.
You see this in, funerals and weddings. I've been doing this for a long time. The best and the worst come out in families at a funeral or at a wedding.
Yeah.
And it should be something in particular, a wedding should be something that people celebrate.
Right.
But they have horror stories at weddings because you are now in this heightened season, you and your family, and you gotta make all of these decisions and make sure that all of the decisions are made correctly. So I think we can forget the fact that, look, if you're entering into a season, and this is really for anyone who's watching, if you guys are entering into a season where you have to make a lot of decisions, you need to be prepared to know that there could be a lot of disagreements that come along with that season. And the holidays are no different.
No.
That's the point.
No, right. I think about a particular Christmas that we had. There was a decision that needed to be made.
Okay.
And the decision was to take our middle daughter to the hospital.
Oh my gosh. I remember.
So that specific Christmas, her and her sister came home from being with their dad, and he got them a new scooter. The problem was our middle daughter was smaller, shorter, whatever, than the other daughter. And so those scooters really weren't the best size for her.
Yeah.
And so when she's riding this scooter, she ends up
Yeah.
falling, and it's a whole catastrophe. And she gets up, her dad, their dad brings them home and drops them off. And she's just like traumatized by the whole experience.
Yeah.
And when all was said and done, she goes into the bathroom and finds that there's like all kinds of things happening. And so I have to take her to the hospital
On Christmas.
on Christmas.
Yeah.
And it's like, we'll be back.
Yeah.
The emergency room in the hospital.
Turn off the turkey in 15
minutes. Right. So I think I brought her home for a little bit so she could like open presents, and then had to take her back or something. It was something weird like that happened. It was such a crazy, crazy holiday.
Yeah.
So crazy.
Yeah.
But that was one of those decisions that had to be made.
Yeah.
Like we have to go to the hospital and make sure there's no broken bones, that everything is okay, because it was crazy.
It's crazy. And that's just one example of how holidays can be difficult.
Right.
There are families who are watching us now who have probably a ton of stories that they could share just to support what we're talking about. Holidays can be great.
Yeah, they can
be.
But
to your point, it is not a Hallmark movie.
It is not.
It is not a Lifetime movie.
No.
It just isn't. So,
no.
So when we're making these decisions, we have this opportunity to enter into a season where we argue more. We have more disagreements. Our emotions are heightened, and we are having conversations with people that we love, and we're just like, hey honey, where's the bacon? What do you mean the bacon? Well, where'd you put the bacon? And all of a sudden we got in an argument over bacon. It wasn't the intent for us to get into an argument over bacon, but our emotions are so heightened. So I just wanted to bring that up. It's important. It's not just important for families to survive holidays. And I think for a lot of our listeners, that's the goal. We just want to survive.
Want to survive the holidays.
We just want to make it through.
It.
Right. But the goal is really not simply to survive the holidays, but it's an opportunity for us to be an example and to be a light. For our family, for our friends, for our children. If we can be a light to them, if we can show them what it looks like to have joy, and our joy is not taken away because of external circumstances. Our joy comes from God, and He provides everything that we need to put a smile on our face, or to have good attitudes, or to be content for the things that we have.
So my suggestion would be to make the priority making sure that the environment is one of peace. Making sure you're intentional about making sure that there's love. It's an environment of joy. Making sure it's an environment where everyone is seen and loved and heard. When you prioritize that kind of environment, even during the holidays, which can be so hectic and crazy, you get so much more of a reward out of it. You're making a deposit into the relationship. That's a long-term deposit. It goes beyond just this holiday. It goes beyond whatever you spent on the meal. It goes beyond whatever you spent on the gifts. You're making this long-term deposit into the relationship, and you will get rewarded for that. Huge dividends later.
I agree. I think we have a couple things that we want to share with everyone who is listening. We have about 5 things that we want to share with you so that your holiday is not tragic. About 5 things that are going to be helpful, some tools that you can use in your own family. And we're doing this because we know the holidays are coming up, and we've seen tragic holidays. We've had some, we had both of them happen on Christmas. Actually, the 3 that I can think of all happened on Christmas. It was the one that you shared about our middle daughter. It was when I had to take my dad to the ER, and I spent all of Christmas at the ER.
I remember
and the last one was when I bought you pots and pans for Christmas. That was tragic.
It wasn't. It was.
Why am I bringing it up?
It was. You're right. It was tragic.
Because you didn't want pots and pans?
I didn't.
I thought.
Yeah, he thought.
Because Julia said, well, we need new pots, and I just want to get new pots. So I'm thinking, as a husband, how long were we married? Maybe 3 years?
Not even.
2?
Maybe 2.
Maybe 2 years.
Maybe 2
I'm
years.
thinking I'm going to get her the best Christmas present ever. I'm going to get her a box of pots and pans.
Pots and pans.
She hated it.
I was like, what is this?
And I'm like, this is what you've always dreamed of.
No.
Don't be rude, honey.
I'm not. I'm just what I was thinking. I was grateful for the pots and pans. We needed them.
I don't know that you were.
I was.
Okay.
Your gifts have gotten a lot better.
Okay.
So thank you. It just wasn't my idea of a gift.
I got you. You're welcome. So we want to share with you 5 things that can help your holiday not be tragic.
Right.
Holidays can be super hard.
Yeah.
And we don't want you to feel like, I just need to survive. I don't like my mother-in-law. I don't like my father-in-law. I want to get them in and out of my house as quickly as possible. And whatever. You may have a lot of reasons why your holidays have been tragic.
Right.
But we want to help you with these 5 things. So the first thing is to pray with your spouse and be thankful.
Right.
The reason I put pray with your spouse is because if you guys are in a marriage and you want to set the tone, you want to set the tone for the day.
Right.
The best way to do that is with prayer. The best way to do that is with going to God and saying, we're entrusting the next few moments with you, the next several hours into your hands. Help us to have a time that we can remember where you are honored, where our family members are honored, and we have a day filled with joy.
Right.
I think going to God and asking him for his help acknowledges that we are not the sole person that can make the difference in the holiday.
Right. Absolutely.
We acknowledge.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I agree. I think the second thing would be don't overreact.
Okay. Tell me more.
Don't overreact. Listen.
Tell them more.
24 hours in a day.
Right.
So Thanksgiving, 24 hours, it will be over. Christmas, Easter, pick the holiday, 24 hours. You will get through it.
Yeah.
It will not be eternal. And so keeping that perspective is really, really important.
Yeah, I agree.
Right? So that you're able to get through that knowing that life moves on.
Right.
Life goes on. If you burnt the turkey, it's okay.
It's okay.
Right? You will move on to the next thing. It will be something very funny to laugh at in the years to come. Maybe not in the moment. You're probably crying. But you will move on.
Right.
Just keep things in perspective. Don't overreact.
Right. Okay. I'm feeling that.
Yeah.
So number 3, that was number 2. Number 3, anticipate problems. Like things are not going to go the way that we want them to go. Especially during the holidays, things are going to go wrong.
Right.
You brought up the turkey. Right. Like, anticipate the problem. If you have an uncle that comes to your house regularly and he cheats at Uno, and you know he cheats when you guys play Uno, then don't pull out the Uno cards.
No, keep them away.
If you have a cousin who is the only Cowboys fan in the whole house, and you know that makes everybody mad, when you invite him, be clear. Don't wear your Dak Prescott jersey and your cowboy hat and your cowboy boots traipsing up all on our floors. Talking about, them boys. Like, make sure that...
Just don't do that.
But if if you can anticipate, there are certain things that happen to us every year, and families who are watching, certain things that happen every single year, but every single year we get mad, but we never prepare to make changes so that it doesn't happen again. Right. So this year's admonishment, this year's encouragement.
Admonishment.
Right.
That's pretty serious.
That's King James.
Yeah.
This year's encouragement is for you to be prepared and anticipate there are going to be things that go wrong during the holidays, but make sure that you are ready for those things and you are fully prepared. Right.
And really, I think you even touched on a fourth one, which kind of leads us into, avoid those triggering conversations. Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
Avoid those. I mean, you know that they're going to come up, so November, the election is over, but that
Mm-hmm.
doesn't mean politics is over,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So people were going to get into those conversations.
Yep.
Whoever won, whoever lost, whoever may win, whoever may lose, it's always going to be that thing. So you
Yeah.
know that's coming. Avoid those triggering conversations so you can have
100% agree.
peace.
And
Right?
even with that, part of avoiding those conversations is taking breaks if you
Yes.
need to take a break.
Take a break, take a walk,
Yeah.
take a breather.
Go get some fresh air.
Right.
Yep. Just remove yourself
Right.
from the
Right.
situation. What's the fifth one?
The fifth one is plan your exit. Know when you start and know where you end.
Right.
It is so important.
Right.
If you have this,
That's great.
event for the holidays, it just seems like it's the never-ending event.
Yeah.
You're gonna have a lot of anxiety, a lot of tension, a lot more room for these triggering things and conversations.
Absolutely.
But if you plan your exit,
Mm-hmm.
you plan your start, you plan your end time.
Yeah.
You're going to be in a better position for the holidays.
For sure.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, if you invite people to your house and you never tell them when they have to leave, they're not going to leave.
No. Just because you start packing up the food doesn't mean
right.
that they know it's time to go. They're like, oh, we're going to go sit on the couch now.
Right. Is it coffee time? Is it time to talk? Is it time to eat dessert? Is it time to play a game?
Absolutely.
You know, you got to have some boundaries. And I love it. Plan your exit. So let's say, for instance, if you're not at home, you are not hosting.
Right.
Which, by the way, that's one of the things that we decided early on.
Yeah.
We pre-decided that as a family, we were not going to be traveling to everybody's uncle's house, everyone's aunt's house, parents and grandparents, and running up gas is too much, and we're just driving all over the city trying to get more turkey.
Right.
Our decision as a family was that we are going to host. Right. And we're going to invite, everybody come on over, hang out. We have a spread and people come and they hang out with us.
Yep.
All right. So that was my side note.
That was your side note.
But
if you are going to someone's house, plan the exit.
Yeah.
No, we're going to stay. It starts at 3. We'll get there at 3. We'll leave by 5 or whatever it is, because you got to have that time. If you have little kids.
Yeah.
You have little kids and you're going to someone's house over the holidays. Do yourself, your kids, and those people a favor by planning that out.
Yeah.
Because your kids are going to reach their max. The people who are hosting are going to reach their max. And you as a parent are going to reach your max. So plan that out so that you're able to get out at a good time and everybody's still in one piece.
I 100% agree. Without planning your exit, and the reason I think this needs some emphasis is because many people don't consider it. But they regret not doing it. Right. They don't consider it up front to say, okay, this is what time we're going to arrive, or this is what time we're going to start, and this is what time it's going to be over. But they regret it. And you hear it the whole car ride home. Right. You saw me put on my jacket. Why didn't you get up? That was my sign. Why didn't you tell me you were ready to go, honey? Putting on my jacket was my sign. And all of a sudden, you have this ridiculous argument because your spouse didn't see you put your jacket on. Or put your shoes on or whatever. Talk about it before you get there. This is the pre-meeting. Yeah. Huddle up. Honey. All right, what's the plan?
Right, this is what we're doing.
Right. Did you bring the aluminum foil?
Oh, my God.
Like, what's the plan?
I'm sure they have aluminum foil for you to take your plate home.
Okay. So let me read the scripture.
Okay.
All right. So this scripture really talks about the planning that we were talking about. I'm going to read Proverbs 24, 27. And this is the New Living Translation. It says, do your planning and prepare your fields before building your house. And the reason I wanted to read that is because it tells the reader that the most important thing is the house. Yeah. However, there are certain things that need to happen prior to that. Right. You need to plan before you actually do the most important thing. And for the holidays, if we can enter into the holidays with a plan, it makes a huge difference. Whether you're a blended family, whether you have 3 kids or 6 kids, or whether you live with your parents or you live alone, if you plan for the holidays, it will make a tremendous difference. It will help your holidays not to be hectic and chaotic. It'll save you an argument on the way there and on the way home. It'll just make a huge difference.
Save the argument after everyone leaves,
Right.
Why didn't you tell? No.
Yeah.
Plan.
You're right. Post-party arguments.
Post-party.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, thank you so much for joining us again for another episode of the Beautifully Blended podcast. Julia and I are grateful that you tune in. We've been doing this for a little bit of time now, but we have been welcomed by the podcast community, by the online social media community. Thank you for liking what we do. Thank you for sharing what we do. And I want to encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Until next time, God bless you and thank you so much.